And it got to the point where they were like, okay, let Clive Cussler put what he wants in the script, and we're just not going to shoot it. We just need to get the script approved. So eventually they get to the point where, they're making the movie, and Cussler's kind of like, he's not on set, so he's not seeing anything that's being done. They're just like shooting the movie as is. And then like once he finds out that they kind of like lied to him, during his book tour, his next book tour, he starts blasting the film. He starts talking about how it's going to be terrible, how it's not faithful to the book. He's telling his fans not to go see the movie.
Son of a bitch.
And
never mind, I'm not going to buy his book anymore.
and then like before the movie was released, he filed a lawsuit against the company that made the movie, saying that accusing them of fraud and all this other stuff. And then the production company countersued him for specifically trying to tank the movie by refusing to do publicity for it and then bad-mouthing it.
Yeah, I'm sure he signed a contract that said he was supposed to do both of those things.
I don't know about that, but they basically said that him bad-mouthing the movie hurt, the box office for the film. And that he was actively sabotaging it. Like he had tried to blackmail them by using his creative control clause and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, during the course of this lawsuit, the line item budget for the movie was entered into evidence, and it got leaked to the Los Angeles Times, and the Los Angeles Times published everything that was in the budget. And this was the first time that a lot of people got to see kind of like what goes into these bloated over $100 million budgets in these Hollywood films. And if you go through the budget, there's some really interesting stuff in there. Like they actually budgeted bribes for Moroccan officials in order to like shoot there. But they had stuff like Matthew McConaughey's, in addition to the money he got paid to do this movie, which I believe was like $8 million or something like that. He also got a bonus of like $1 million for like incidentals, which went towards like travel for his entourage and like a bunch of other stuff. And so like when you wonder why these movies cost so much, and you look at like all the expenses on this thing, like like his colorist Timothy Zahn or Steve Zahn had like it written into the budget, like a nanny for his kids and like a bunch of other stuff. Like you can easily see like where all this money goes and how like frivolous a lot of the spending is. Like Matthew McConaughey had it in the budget, a gym for his hotel room.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why that's a big deal.
He's got to stay, swole for the sheen. I mean, he's like shirtless for half this movie.
And like then Steve Zahn's nanny needed new tits because who wants to look at flat-chested nannies?
But
Steve Zahn is Al?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was also interesting to see like certain things, like for instance, the casting of Penelope Cruz, where we talked about how Vader doesn't like her, felt that she was miscast. Clive Cussler wrote the character in the book with actress Selma Hayek in mind. And so he really wanted Selma Hayek to be cast. But the problem was that the producers...
It's too bad Zendaya wasn't around.
But the producers, in order to get a tax credit in shooting in Spain for like $23 million, they had to cast a Spanish actress. So they cast Penelope Cruz specifically because she was Spanish, so they could get that tax credit. And so like these are some of the things that the inside baseball things when you're making a movie. Like for instance, there was a lot of product placement in Sahara, and like there was a scene where like their Jeep got stuck in like some type of like sand hole or something, and the producer's like, no, you can't shoot that scene. They're like, why not? And they're like, because Jeep is a product placement, and they wouldn't like it
if they showed their truck.
Jeeps don't get stuck.
Yeah, Jeeps
exactly.
don't get stuck.
Exactly.
You have a Jeep.
I do.
So like it's a lot of things like that where like there are these product placement considerations that they have to take into account that affect the actual creative aspect of the movie.
Like the gum in Time Cop.
Exactly. Yeah.
This scene brought to you by Pepsi.
That's nothing new.
That's so like Truman Show.
Yeah.
Like, look what I got at the store today.
And if you see anything that has like a perfectly placed label, it's not by accident.